Welcome back to JK Survival Bushcraft. Today we're gonna do some prepping. We're going to store some flour. One of the things you want to kind of do before you get started is make sure your area is clean, sanitized, all your utensils are cleaned, and that what you're going to use is correct. This is how I do it. This is not how everybody else in the world does it, but this is how I do it. And what I have here, Lysol wipes to clean my measuring cup, my spoon, and my scissors. I have a 25-pound bag of flour, some Mylar bags, some oxygen absorbers, and for flour, I typically put it into brown paper sacks, weigh it after I've put it in the Mylar. So I'll bag it up into the brown paper bags, put it into the Mylar, throw it in an oxygen absorber. I'll take a piece of food saver plastic, cut a thin strip, put that between the seal. This has a manual seal, but I'll also heat seal it. Put it between the manual seal, seal it up to that manual where I put that strip of plastic in, and then do the vacuum sealer on my vacuum sealer to finish the heat seal off. So stay with me, and I'm going to sanitize this and get back to you. Okay, so one of the things that you want to do with your flour before you do this is you want to put it in the freezer for about 24 hours, just in case there are any larvae or bugs in there. And all I'm going to do is fill up my brown paper sacks, lunch bags. I fill these up about halfway. Maybe less than halfway. Fold those down. You don't want that super tight because you're going to want to vacuum the air out of that. Set those to the side. Three, 4, 5, 6. 6 is about right. 6 puts it about halfway. Now, one of the things you want to remember when you're doing this is that when you go to use this, if you seal or preserve this in a very large quantity, when you go to open it up, if you're using, say, a bag like this is probably going to hold maybe 12 to 16 cups of flour. You should be able to use 16 cups of flour in a relatively short period of time. If not, you want to go with a smaller Mylar bag and put it into portion sizes that you and your family can use. What I mean by that is, if you're going to only use maybe 6 to 8 cups of flour a week in an emergency situation, then that's what you want to package your flour up into. You don't want to have anything go to waste. This is a kind of a boring little task, so I'm going to stop filming here and cut to the next. All right, so what we've got here is a Mylar bag. Now, typically I buy the heaviest mill I can get. I do like the pleated bottoms. That way they stand up. And you're going to take the flour that you put in the brown paper bag. You're going to put that inside. The other reason you put them in brown paper bags is that when you vacuum seal these, if it's just loose flour, it's going to completely clog up your vacuum sealer. If you look inside there, That's about 2 to 3, maybe 3.5 inches from the top, from the seal. I'm just gonna push those in. What I'll do is I'll get these all bagged up and ready to go before I even put the oxygen absorbers in. Oxygen absorbers are necessary, and I don't skimp on the size. So if it calls for example, in this instance, it's calling for 50 to 100 cc, 50 to 100 cc oxygen absorber. I typically just buy a larger oxygen absorber, and I'll be using 500 cc's. So I'll just put one 500 cc in this. And you want to pay attention to what you're vacuum sealing and what you're using the oxygen absorbers for. Different foods contain more air and more volume. For example, elbow macaroni or corn, something of that nature. You want to try to fill up your bag, the space, to reduce the amount of oxygen that's inside as much as you can. So there's 12 cups of flour in each one of these bags, and realistically, that's quite a bit of flour. Okay, now I'm not going to get my oxygen absorbers out until I'm ready to seal. I'm going to move the camera over to my sealer and lay that out for you. Okay, so you can see 500 cc. One thing you want to remember is once you open a pack, you want to seal it back up. The good thing about the Wallabies is they come in little smaller packs. You don't want to dilly-dally around, so I have 5 packages. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I still have 5 more left in here. And I'm going to reseal this package so I'm not wasting my oxygen absorbers. This is a Potane vacuum sealer. I've had this for 4 years now, and I'm telling you, it is a champ. I have done tens of thousands of different cycles on that vacuum sealer. It still works great. Okay, so now we're gonna seal these up. These are the little strips of Food Saver plastic bags. Get down in. We're gonna seal that all the way up to a corner. You're gonna slip that in and drop that down in so that where that manual seal is, you're going to allow air to get vacuum sealed out of that through that plastic strip. I'm going to set this into the just like so. As you can see it's sucking it out, sucking the oxygen out. And it'll automatically seal that after it hits. So it's sucked it all out. It's sealing it now. One thing you'll notice is that with this step, this machine's pretty much automatic. And it is sealed right across the top here. We'll go through and just make sure that this seal is good to go. And you're done. Now you'll see shrinkage sometimes in these when those oxygen absorbers are working. If there's anything left inside. Do the next one. This is not a very difficult process at all. Anybody can do this. I think the vacuum sealer was maybe, I don't know, $100 when I bought it years ago. I don't know what they cost now. Mylar bags are relatively inexpensive. And your time, and it's taken me maybe 15 minutes to do a 25-pound bag, and that's shooting the video and everything else, cutting in and out. It doesn't take that long, and it's well worth it. Now, shelf life on flour, some people say 5 years. I've known people that have kept flour for 20, 25 years and never had an issue. And you can see it's sealed right through the plastic. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and comment if you want to. Thanks. I did forget to show you all one thing. I do like to use a iron and go back over the top just to make sure. I set this at 410 degrees, and then I make sure that I go over that real good. Let me get a close-up there for you. It's actually really simple. You just put it on. You can drag it if you want to, or you can just, and it seals that Mylar up real nice. Never forget to put a date and a time and a product on what you're sealing. So flour, 12 cups, March 2024.